Imagine a life where your happiness isn't tethered to the fleeting approval of others, where your sense of worth comes from within rather than from the praise or recognition of those around you. In such a life, your inner peace remains unshaken by external circumstances, whether it's criticism, failure, or even success. This isn't a utopian fantasy. It's a mindset deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believe that true contentment arises from focusing on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, while letting go of the need for external validation. By understanding that the opinions of others are beyond your influence, you liberate yourself from the anxiety of constantly seeking their approval. This shift not only fosters resilience, but also empowers you to live authentically, guided by your principles rather than the expectations of others. Today, we'll delve into how embracing this philosophy can help you unlock your true power, fostering a life of purpose, tranquility, and unshakable confidence. In this guide, you'll learn how to stop relying on others for happiness, overcome the fear of being alone, and let go of the need to constantly seek approval. We'll dive deep into Stoic principles that teach us to find strength in ourselves, prioritize inner growth, and avoid the traps of comparison and rejection. By the end, you'll have the tools to live a life of resilience and peace, no longer burdened by the opinions of others. Number 1. Stop relying on others. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is the pursuit of inner strength and self-reliance. This teaching emphasizes that true contentment and resilience are not found in the approval, actions, or presence of others, but within our own minds and character. When we hinge our happiness or self-worth on external factors, be it relationships, material possessions, or societal validation, we become vulnerable to the inevitable shifts and unpredictability of life. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, underscored this truth in his Meditations. He taught that our power lies in our ability to govern our thoughts and responses, remaining steady and composed even in the face of adversity. By cultivating this internal locus of control, we build an unshakable foundation, impervious to the turbulence of external events. This approach not only fosters emotional stability, but also empowers us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose. When we stop relying on others for validation, support, or happiness, we lay the groundwork for true self-reliance. This shift doesn't imply cutting ourselves off from the world or avoiding relationships. Instead, it emphasizes recognizing that our emotional and mental well-being is ultimately within our control. Relying on external sources for stability often leads to disappointment, as other people's actions and opinions are unpredictable and beyond our influence. By cultivating inner strength and resources, such as resilience, self-awareness, and emotional discipline, we become less vulnerable to external pressures and more capable of navigating life's challenges independently. This empowers us to engage with others from a place of confidence and strength rather than need, fostering healthier and more balanced relationships. Number 2. Don't fear being alone. Fear of being alone is a deeply rooted human experience, often tied to our innate need for connection and belonging. However, Stoicism offers a transformative perspective on solitude, viewing it not as a state of deprivation, but as a valuable opportunity for personal growth. The Stoics believe that true contentment arises from within, independent of external circumstances or the presence of others. Solitude, they argued, provides a unique environment for self-reflection, allowing individuals to confront their thoughts, assess their virtues, and refine their character. Epictetus emphasized the importance of enjoying one's own company, suggesting that solitude is not a punishment, but a chance to cultivate inner strength and resilience. By embracing solitude, we learn to rely on ourselves, develop greater self-awareness, and align our actions with reason and virtue, ultimately finding peace and freedom from the fear of isolation. Being alone provides a powerful opportunity to step away from the constant demands and distractions of the external world, allowing us to reconnect with our authentic selves. In solitude, we can silence the overwhelming noise of societal expectations, external judgments, and daily chaos, creating a sacred space for introspection. This quiet environment enables deep reflection, helping us uncover what truly matters and align our actions with our core values. It is in these moments of aloneness that we gain clarity, identify personal aspirations, and set meaningful goals without the influence of others. Moreover, solitude fosters a profound sense of inner peace, teaching us that our worth and joy are intrinsic. By learning to be content in our own company, we break free from the notion that our happiness hinges on external validation or the presence of others, ultimately nurturing a stronger, more self-reliant sense of well-being. Number 3, quit seeking approval. Seeking approval from others is a deeply ingrained human tendency, rooted in our desire for connection and acceptance. However, when our sense of self-worth hinges on external validation, we enter a precarious cycle of insecurity and self-doubt. Each approval we seek becomes a fleeting affirmation, leaving us perpetually vulnerable to criticism and rejection. Stoicism offers a liberating perspective by emphasizing the importance of internal validation. Seneca, one of the prominent Stoic philosophers, taught that true contentment arises from within. He believed that relying on the fluctuating opinions of others to determine our value is a path to perpetual discontent. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to cultivate self-respect and inner peace by focusing on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and character. By anchoring our self-worth in these unshakable foundations, we free ourselves from the emotional turmoil of seeking constant approval, finding instead a profound and enduring sense of self-assurance. When we stop seeking approval from others, we liberate ourselves from the invisible chains of societal expectations and external validation. This freedom allows us to explore who we truly are, rather than molding ourselves to fit into the roles others impose on us. Living authentically means making decisions that reflect our personal values and desires, not those dictated by external pressures. By shifting our focus inward and seeking our own approval, we develop a deeper understanding of our identity. This self-awareness lays the foundation for genuine inner confidence, as our sense of worth no longer hinges on fleeting opinions or the unpredictable praise of others. Instead, we find stability in the unwavering acceptance of ourselves, which empowers us to navigate life with clarity and purpose. Number 4, don't let rejection break you. Rejection, though inherently painful, is an inevitable part of life. The sting of being turned away or overlooked can easily lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. However, Stoicism invites us to reframe rejection, seeing it not as a definitive failure, but as a unique opportunity for personal growth. As Marcus Aurelius emphasized in Meditations, it is not the external event itself that troubles us, but rather our interpretation of it. We hold the power to choose how we respond. When faced with rejection, we can practice resilience by focusing on what lies within our control, our attitude and efforts. Instead of succumbing to despair, we can use rejection as a tool to reflect, learn, and refine our approach. It becomes a teacher, guiding us towards self-improvement and deeper self-awareness. This perspective not only shields us from unnecessary suffering, but also empowers us to thrive amid life's inevitable challenges. Reframing rejection through the lens of Stoic philosophy allows us to transform a potentially painful experience into a valuable opportunity for growth. Rather than viewing rejection as a personal failure, we can see it as a moment of reflection that offers insight into areas for improvement. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we recognize that we cannot control the reactions or decisions of others, but we can control how we respond. Each rejection, then, becomes a tool for self-improvement, an invitation to reassess our actions, refine our approach, and emerge stronger. Embracing rejection with this perspective enables us to build resilience, not only in facing future challenges, but in maintaining inner peace despite external circumstances. By practicing acceptance and focusing on what we can control, we foster emotional stability and continue our journey with renewed determination and clarity. Number 5. Stop fearing what others think of you. The fear of judgment from others can be a heavy burden, often paralyzing us and influencing our actions in ways that don't align with our true values. However, Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this anxiety: the realization that we have no control over what others think. Epictetus, one of the central Stoic philosophers, famously emphasized that we should not allow ourselves to be swayed by the opinions of others, as they are beyond our control. Instead, he urged us to focus on cultivating virtue and acting in accordance with our own principles. When we cease worrying about how we are perceived and redirect our attention to how we judge our own actions, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to conform. This shift in focus empowers us to live authentically, make decisions that are true to our values, and embrace a life guided by inner strength rather than external validation. In doing so, we foster greater self-assurance, as our sense of worth no longer depends on fluctuating opinions, but on the solid foundation of our own character. Number 6. Stop sacrificing your peace to please others. People-pleasing often leads to sacrificing our own well-being in an attempt to gain approval from others. Stoicism, however, teaches us that true contentment comes from within, and that we must prioritize our inner peace over external validation. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, urged us not to let the desires or expectations of others control our actions. Instead, he emphasized the importance of maintaining our own tranquility and focusing on what we can control, our responses and choices. By setting clear boundaries and learning to say no when necessary, we protect our inner peace and ensure that we are not constantly bending to others' will. This doesn't mean neglecting our responsibilities or relationships, but rather finding a balanced approach that allows us to care for ourselves while still being able to fulfill our commitments. By valuing and protecting our peace, we foster a life of greater harmony, where we can genuinely nurture our connections and live in alignment with our true needs and values. Number 7. Focus on what you can control. A fundamental principle of Stoicism, known as the dichotomy of control, teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. This powerful teaching emphasizes that while we cannot control external events, people's actions, or the outcome of many situations, we do have full control over our own thoughts, decisions, and responses. Marcus Aurelius, a key Stoic philosopher, famously encouraged us to accept those things that lie beyond our control and to focus our energy solely on what we can influence. By shifting our focus away from the uncontrollable, we can free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. The practice of accepting life's uncertainties and limitations allows us to cultivate peace of mind, knowing we are doing our best with the choices available to us. This mindset enables us to approach challenges with a sense of calmness and resilience, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth rather than sources of frustration. Number 8. Focus on yourself. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from turning our attention inward, focusing on our personal growth and development. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, often emphasized the importance of self-examination and constant self-improvement. For him, the path to clarity and inner strength involved confronting our weaknesses, understanding our actions, and striving to align our behavior with our values. This process of self-reflection allows us to cultivate a resilient and clear mind, enabling us to navigate life's challenges more effectively. Importantly, this inward focus is not about selfishness or neglecting others. On the contrary, by prioritizing our own well-being and growth, we are in a stronger position to assist and support those around us. When we focus on becoming the best version of ourselves, we can approach relationships with greater compassion, understanding, and wisdom. In turn, this creates a more balanced, fulfilling life, one where our actions are purposeful, our presence is steady, and our ability to help others is maximized. Number 9, don't get caught up in comparison. Comparison is indeed the thief of joy, as it diverts our attention from our personal growth and leads us to measure our worth based on the accomplishments of others. This shift in focus only breeds dissatisfaction, as we begin to believe that we are lacking or not enough compared to those around us. Stoicism, however, encourages us to reject these external standards and instead focus on our own journey. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized that true value lies not in the fleeting successes of others, but in our personal progress and virtuous actions. By embracing this philosophy, we release ourselves from the grip of jealousy, envy, and the endless race for external validation. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we start to appreciate the uniqueness of our own path, no matter how different or modest it may seem. This shift in mindset allows us to celebrate our achievements, big or small, fostering a deeper sense of contentment and self-acceptance. Through this practice, we cultivate inner peace, as we realize that the only competition we need to focus on is the one within ourselves, the pursuit of personal growth, wisdom, and virtue. Number 10, prioritize inner growth over external validation. Stoicism teaches us that true fulfillment is found not in external validation, but through inner growth and self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius, a key Stoic philosopher, emphasized that lasting happiness stems from cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, and self-discipline. Rather than seeking approval from others or chasing fleeting external rewards, Stoicism encourages us to focus on developing our character and living in alignment with our core values. This process requires continuous self-reflection, where we assess our thoughts, actions, and intentions, striving to become better versions of ourselves each day. By setting personal development goals and committing to constant improvement, we cultivate a sense of purpose, resilience, and inner peace. When we prioritize inner growth, we build the emotional strength needed to face life's challenges with grace and confidence, knowing that our true worth comes from within, not from the opinions or achievements of others. Conclusion: in the journey of life, we often seek validation and approval from external sources, but true power and peace come from within. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, we learn to focus on ourselves, let go of the need for external validation, and cultivate inner strength. These teachings guide us to build trust in ourselves, find contentment in solitude, and prioritize our own growth and well-being. Through Stoicism, we discover that our value and happiness are not determined by the opinions of others, but by our own actions and character. By practicing self-reliance, setting boundaries, and focusing on what we can control, we unlock our true potential and lead a more fulfilling life. Let us embrace the wisdom of the Stoics and embark on a journey of self-discovery and resilience. By focusing on ourselves and letting go of external validation, we find the strength and peace to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence.